House Stark. House Stark of Winterfell is one of the oldest and most respected families in Westeros, tracing its origins back to Bran the Builder, a legendary figure from the Age of Heroes. He is credited with creating both Winterfell and the Wall. Their history spans more than 8,000 years, enduring the invasion of the Andals, the Targaryens, and countless conflicts. Winterfell, their ancestral home, is as much a cultural symbol as it is a strategic stronghold. It's a fortress heated by natural hot springs, surrounded by ancient godswood trees, and quiet crypts that hold the remains of fallen Starks. This place embodies their identity, steeped in ancient traditions, reverence for the old gods, and an unwavering loyalty to the North. Once the Starks ruled the North as independent kings before Aragorn's conquest. Following that, they took on the role of warlock lords, tasked with protecting the largest region of the realm. Their governing principles revolved around honor, duty, and preparedness, captured in their motto, "Winter is coming," which serves as a caution rather than a boast. The execution of Ned Stark in King's Landing ignited a rebellion. Robb Stark is declared king in the North, but meets his end at the Red Wedding. The family faces disarray, yet the Starks endure. Jon Snow rises as king in the North, Sansa claims the title of Queens in the North, and Bran becomes king of the Six Kingdoms as the North seeks its independence. House Stark's story is not one of constant victory, but rather of resilience. They navigate through winters, wars, and betrayals. Ultimately, the Starks leave their mark on Westeros, not through conquest, but through their ability to endure. House Lannister. House Lannister of Castle Rock is one of the oldest and richest families in all of Westeros. It all began in the Age of Heroes, when their ancestor, Lann the Clever, outsmarted House Casterly and took over the fortress, declaring himself the King of the Rock. Fast forward to today, and they hold the title of Lords Paramount of the Western Lands and Warden of the West, a legacy built on the wealth poured from gold mines, granting them immense power. Their banner, featuring a golden lion on a crimson background, boldly proclaims their strength. Their official motto, "Hear me roar," holds significant weight, but the real power lies in their unofficial saying, "A Lannister always pays his debts." At the helm of this formidable house is Tywin Lannister, a man of iron and strategy who reshaped the political landscape. His ruthless planning during the Red Wedding has secured his name in history, yet he showed no mercy to his own son, Tyrion. Tyrion, with his sharp intellect and outside perspective, embodies a different kind of strength within the family. Under Cersei's rule, ambition takes center stage. She's a master manipulator who schemes her way to the throne and rules with fear, even as wildfire engulfs the sept and tears the realm apart. But ambition alone can't grant immortality. Joffrey meets his end at his own wedding. Tywin falls at the hands of Tyrion, and Cersei ultimately dies amidst the collapse of her own ambitions. These events serve as a stark reminder that Lannister pride can lead to downfall. In the end, the golden riches of the Lions cannot protect them from their fate. House Lannister stands as a warning. While power and wealth can dominate the world, chaos always finds a way back home. House Baratheon. House Baratheon emerged from the Stormy Lands, founded by Orys Baratheon, who is rumored to be the illegitimate son of Aegon the Conqueror. Orys managed to take Storm's End from the Storm Kings, marrying into their lineage and adopting their banner, a crowned black stag on a field of gold, along with the motto, "Ours is the Fury." Though the Baratheons are the youngest of the great houses, they possess great power. Their striking physical traits, tall, strong with dark hair and intense blue eyes, reflect the wild storms that characterize their homeland. The house finds its defining moment with Robert Baratheon, a leader of rebellion and seasoned warrior. He topples the Targaryens, seizes the Iron Throne, and propels House Baratheon to the forefront of power. During Robert's reign, the royal faction of Baratheon establishes its seats in King's Landing, while other branches settle in Dragonstone and Storm's Edge. However, Robert's rule is marked by chaos, leaning more towards indulgence than meaningful change. His untimely death ignites a fierce rivalry between his brothers, Stannis and Renly, both of whom lay claim to the throne. This conflict drives a wedge into the house. Stannis, known for his cold determination, pursues prophecy that ultimately leads to his ruin. On the other hand, Renly, with his charm and populist appeal, briefly gains support in the Reach. only to see his claim cut short by a magical assassination. In the end, House Baratheon crumbles from within, the line of kings fade away, and the house only endures when Queen Daenerys legitimizes Gendry, Robert's bastard, breathing new life into the Baratheon name, mirroring the ever-repeating cycle of power in Westeros. House Tully. House Tully of Riverrun is one of the great houses in Westeros, overseeing the Riverland from their historic seats at Riverrun. This location sits at the important intersection of the Trident's Forks. Their sigil features a silver trout jumping over red and blue waves, symbolizing both the land they protect and their deep-rooted family values. Guided by the motto, family, duty, honor. House Tully embodies this identity. Their lineage stretches back to the first man. They gained prominence after standing against King Harren the Black and backing Argon's conquest. As a result, House Tully was granted the title of Lord Paramount of the Trident, showcasing a mix of pride and practicality. While they are not known for the military prowess, their strategic position allows them to influence the flow of power across Westeros. However, they lack natural defenses. During the War of the Five Kings, Catelyn Tully strengthens ties with the Starks and Aryans through marriage, but the devastating Red Wedding brings House Tully's strength crashing down. With Riverrun lost and Edmure Tully taken prisoner, his uncle, Brynden Blackfish Tully, shows remarkable resilience before ultimately having to yield. By the end of the series, Edmure is freed and returns to Riverrun, briefly restoring Tully rule. Rather than being defined by conquest, House Tully stands as a bridge between kingdoms, a guardian of alliances, and a symbol of loyalty, even as the chaos of war sweeps through their lands. House Arryn. House Arryn, ruling from the iconic Eyrie, governs the Vale of Arryn, a fortress so high in the cliffs that is deemed unassailable. According to the legend, Sir Artus Arryn, famously known as the Winged Knight, achieved his remarkable victory on the back of a giant falcon, defeating the last king of the mountain and establishing the house. Ever since, House Arryn has held its reign without interruption. Their sigil, a white falcon gliding beneath a pale moon, and the phrase, "as high as honor," reflect their proud Andal lineage. The Eyrie penched atop the giant's lance isn't just stunning, it's a fortress designed for defense. It can only be reached through a narrow mountain pass known as the Gates of the Moon, followed by a steep climb. The castle features moon-shaped sky cells and the ominous moon door, underscoring the house's elevated status, both literally and metaphorically. House Arryn's motto is not just a saying, it's something they've earned. As Wardens of the East, they wield influence through their honor rather than sheer numbers. The death of Jon Arryn, the keeper of the realm's most daring secrets in the first season, triggers a wave of betrayals that shatters the realm's stability. With his passing, his son, Robert's sweet Robin, Arryn, takes over the Vale. But he does so under a shaky regency led by his unpredictable mother, Lynsa Tully, and the crafty lord, Peter Baelish. Though House Arryn isn't the largest of the noble houses, its presence is formidable. Sitting high above in the icy peaks, it represents pride, purity, and the perils of seclusion. In chaotic times, their motto rings true. Honor is held high, but reputations are held even higher. House Greyjoy. House Greyjoy stands powerful from their stronghold at Pike, a time-worn fortress clinging to the rugged cliffs on the Iron Islands, an unforgiving barren cluster of land situated off the western coast of Westeros. Unlike many, their wealth does not come from fertile fields, but rather from the depth of the sea. They trace their lineage back to the fabled Grey King, a legendary figure believed to have ruled the island for a millennium. After Targaryen's conquest brought an end to the harsh reign of House Horn, the Ironborn rallied around House Greyjoy, naming them the Lord's Reaper of Pike. Their sigil, a golden kraken on a black background, along with their stark motto, "We do not sow," encapsulates their ruthless philosophy. They claim what others cultivate. Their culture is bold, deeply rooted in the traditions of raiding and the worship of the drowned god. House Greyjoy is both unpredictable and tough. Balon Greyjoy's failed uprising against Robert Baratheon brought him notoriety. His son, Theon, found himself as a hostage at Winterfell, betraying the Stark family, only to be shattered by the torments inflicted by Ramsay Bolton. When Balon dies under mysterious circumstances, his brother Euron seizes control through a violent Kingsmoot, leaving loyalty in disarray. At the conclusion of the war, Theon and his sister Yara break away from Euron, seeking alliances with Daenerys. Ultimately, Yara reclaims her leadership role, defined by her resilience in the face of a fractured legacy. Though House Greyjoy isn't expansive or affluent, their strength lies in their ability to adapt. They thrive and falter with the tides, not in fields. Almost feared and frequently divided, the Ironborn remain a formidable force, shaped by the storms, the sea, and their unyielding spirit. House Tyrell. House Tyrell of Highgarden transformed from loyal stewards into powerful rulers. Initially serving House Gardener, they grasped power as Lord of Highgarden after the Targaryens' conquest, which handed them control over the Reach, one of the most fertile and populated areas in Westeros. Their banner, featuring a golden rose on a vibrant green background, along with their motto, "Growing Strong," perfectly encapsulates their elegance and ambition. Their wealth gives them an upper hand. They boast the richest harvested and the largest armies, second only to the Lannisters, and they command a formidable navy through their vessels. In times of civil war, House Tyrell wields influence and subtlety. They align with Renly Baratheon, strengthening their position when Margaeris marries Joffrey after Renly's untimely death. This union brings them right into the heart of royal politics, setting the stage for their involvement in the Game of Thrones. Olenna, known as the Queen of Thorns, becomes the strategic mind behind their maneuvers, sharp, ruthless, and always calculating. She orchestrates Joffrey's poisoning under Margaery's hairnet, ensuring her granddaughter's safety. However, power can vanish in an instant. Cersei's wildfire devastates most of the Tyrell family, Mace, Loras, Marjorie, leaving Olenna to meet her end shortly after, confessing to the murder of Joffrey. With this, House Tyrell fades into oblivion. The tale of House Tyrell is one of gradual ascent, growing from loyalty to dominance, only to be violently uprooted by the flames of arrogance. House Martell. House Martell oversees the sun-baked lands of Dorne from their capital, Sunspear. They hold a unique position as the only great house that has never fallen to the Targaryens or the Andals. Their emblem, a vibrant red sun speared by a golden lance, and their motto, unbound, unbent, unbroken, reflect a history built on resilience and strength. Their journey began in the Age of Heroes with Mors Martell, an Andal lord who brought together the divided kingdoms of Dorne, aided by the arrival of the warrior queen, Nymeria, from the Rhine. Their union fused different cultures and established Dorne as a principality led by princes instead of kings, with inheritance passed through the firstborn, regardless of whether they were male or female. Dorne's rich culture is defined by its ethnic diversity, political autonomy, and forward-thinking laws of inheritance. These factors empowered House Martell to withstand Aegon's conquest and resist his heirs for many generations. During Robert's Rebellion and the years that followed, they chose to keep their distance from the political turmoil at the center. The tragic union of Elia Martell and Rhaegar Targaryen led to her horrific death, an event that deeply influenced Dornish loyalties in the conflict that followed. In the series Game of Thrones, the fierce Oberyn Red Viper Martell storms into King's Landing to seek vengeance for his sister, a daring act that ultimately ends in heartbreak. Meanwhile, Prince Doran Martell adopts a more cautious approach, strategizing from Sunspear, while his daughter, Arianne, takes charge of the line of successors in the books. The tale of House Martell is not one of conquest, it is a narrative of steadfast identity. Guided by the sun, the spear, and a deep sense of pride, they remain distinct and defiantly unbroken. House Targaryen. House Targaryen originated from Valyria, one of the 40 noble Dragonlord families in the Freehold. While they weren't the strongest, they distinguished themselves when Daenerys the Dreamer had a vision of the doom. 12 years prior to that disaster, her father, Aenar, took his family along with 5 dragons to the island of Dragonstone, the last Valyrian stronghold. When the doom finally struck Valyria, the Targaryens were already safe across the narrow sea. From Dragonstone, Aegon the Conqueror, along with his sisters, Visenya and Rhaenys, setting out to unite Westeros, established the Targaryen dynasty and capturing the Iron Throne. They ruled for nearly 300 years, with their power centered in King's Landing and Dragonstone. Their emblem, a red 3-headed dragon on a black background, and their motto, fire and blood, symbolize both their conquest and their enduring legacy. However, dragons are known for their unpredictability. To keep their bloodline pure, the Targaryens engaged in incestuous marriages, which led to mental instability over generations. A civil war, referred to as the Dance of the Dragons, almost destroyed their dynasty. Centuries later, Aerys II, known as the Mad King, descended into madness and was ultimately overthrown during Robert's Rebellion, marking the end of Targaryen rule. In exile, Daenerys Targaryen became the last flicker of their legacy, bringing 3 dragons to life from fire, freeing cities, and earning titles like Breaker of Chains. She came close to reclaiming the throne, but was betrayed and killed by her nephew, Jon Snow, which signaled the final end of Targaryen reigns in Westeros. That's every great house in Game of Thrones explained. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a deep dive. And drop a comment below with which show, story, or character you want to see explained next. Your idea might be the focus for the next video.